Hello, Orbis here, and welcome to another ranking every track on an album video. Today we're doing The Strokes again, and today we're doing Comedown Machine, which is The Strokes' fifth album, released in 2013. It's quite kind of a, polarizing album. A lot of people really don't like it. A lot of people love it. And I've always been a bit mixed on it. I don't know. My opinion seems to vary a lot. Sometimes I feel like I like him. Sometimes I listen to it and I'm like, no, this is easily Strokes' worst album. But sometimes I listen to it and I'm like, actually, I'm quite enjoying this. So it's a very strange and interesting album in Strokes' discography. I don't think I can very easily say that there aren't any songs on there that I like in their top best, in my personal opinion. Or at least there aren't as many highlights as on every other Strokes album. Like Angles is kind of mixed, and so is First Impressions of Earth, but they have some amazing songs on them. But Comedown Machine's a bit more all over the place. So yeah, I don't know. And actually doing the ranking for this video was actually really hard, way harder than I expected. This is probably the hardest one I've had to do in the Strokes discography, because I don't really know how I feel about a lot of songs on this album. Like I said with the whole album, my opinion seems to just constantly change on the songs, with the songs on this album, just because they're so, a lot of them are so odd. Okay, so let's just go on with the ranking. So I'll start from the bottom, and at the bottom I've put All the Time. I feel like it might be controversial to put this at the bottom. I feel like I'm meant to like this song, but I don't know, every time I hear it I just don't enjoy it at all. Nothing about it I like, to be honest. And the reason it's at the bottom though is because the chorus I find really grating. It annoys me. I don't know why. The song genuinely just annoys me. Next up I've put the track Chances. I don't know. I feel like this song there's another one I just can't get myself to enjoy at all. I think it just feels generic to me, and I don't like Jules' vocals on this track. And that's one thing about this album, is Julian Casablancas' vocals are very strange all over this album. They're very hit or miss, because he's always doing something unusual with his vocals, and it's very, very different from the early Strokes, what he's doing on the early Strokes music albums. So next up I've gone with 50/50, which I used to be one of my favourites, but I don't know, my opinion at the moment is that it's too abrasive. I don't enjoy it. There's this effect on Julian's vocals. It makes it very distorted, and it's kind of cool, but I don't know, I find it quite grating, especially in the chorus. So I don't think I'm really big on this song. Next up I've gone with Partners in Crime. I think this is kind of a very in the middle song. It's decent. I mildly enjoy it, but I don't really have much to say about it. Next up I've gone with Tap Out, the opener, which is another one. This is one where my opinion changes on it quite a lot, because there are things that I love about this song and some things I'm not so big on. I love the guitar part. I think the guitar part, and that's one point for the whole album. I think the guitar playing is consistently amazing. And the guitar line on this song is really good, especially in the intro. I think the intro for the song is amazing, and sometimes I listen to the song just for the intro. I just listen to the first 5 seconds and then stop. I think the problem is I just don't know how I feel about Julian's vocals. I don't know, once his vocals come in I'm like, especially, and when you get to the chorus I'm like, it's not a super strong chorus. So I don't know, sometimes I listen to the whole song, I'm like, oh, this is really good, but I think there are better songs. There are songs that feel more consistent Whereas with this song, there's certain aspects I love about it, but not all the aspects. Next up is a similar case, and it's One Way Trigger. And I love almost everything about the song, but I definitely don't like the chorus, like the find a job bit. I don't like his vocals on that part, but literally everything else about the song I love. The like plasticky keyboard you think would be annoying, but I honestly really enjoy it. I find it really catchy, and I like Julian's vocals for most of the song, just not the chorus. And I find it really catchy, actually. Just not the chorus. So next up, I've gone with Slow Animals, which grew on me over time. And yeah, I just think it's a good song. I can't really think much to say about it. I like his vocals on it, and the guitar part. The guitars are really nice. Next up is I've put 80s Comedown Machine, which is another one that grew on me. The keyboard that's on it is really cool. But I used to not be big on the song overall because I thought it was just a bit slow, and it is slow, but I think it's one of the better songs on the album overall. It's very, it's very chill, but I don't mind it. I think Julian's vocals are really good. I do like the chorus. I like the background vocal in the back. The background vocal in the background in the vocal in the background. It's the bit that sounds a bit like a violin. I don't know how to explain it, but it's very cool and very unique, and I don't know, if you know the song, you know what I'm talking about. And also there's this like middle 8 bit where it goes instrumental for a while, and the keyboard starts doing a thing, and that bit's amazing. So yeah, this is a really good song. And we are now in the top 3. And at number 3, I've put Call It Fate, Call It Karma, which is the closer, and it is by far the most popular song on the album. It's actually, I think it's, I haven't checked, but I think it is in the top most listened to Strokes songs, which I used to not really understand, but because it's so different from the other Strokes hits. But it is a really good song, really cool. I like that the way it sounds. It almost sounds like it's coming from a gramophone, the piano sounds like it's a really old piano from the 1920s. So it has a really cool sound and vibe to it. And Julian's vocals are fantastic. So yeah, great song. And it might surprise people that it's not number 1 or 2. I feel like there are probably some people that are like, this is the only good song on the album, but it's not. And number 2, I've put Happy Ending. This is such an underrated track. I think it's because on Spotify, when you're on an album, you can see how many listens each track get, and I think this one had the lowest, or one of the lowest. But I find it really catchy. I think it's just a really enjoyable, consistently enjoyable song, and I've grown to really love it, almost as much as my number 1 pick, which is Welcome to Japan. And this is just a lot of the tracks on this album you can argue are rough, but I think it's hard to argue that this song isn't great. It's just a very well written song, consistently enjoyable. There's nothing about it I don't like, and it's kind of groovy. I don't know. It has a slight groove to it, and it's just a really enjoyable track. So yeah, that was my ranking of Comedown Machine by The Strokes. This was a fun one. Even it was a hard one, but it was a fun one to rank, because it's an interesting album to listen to and kind of pick apart. But I definitely don't go back to it as much as other Strokes albums, and there aren't really many songs on it that I really go back to either. But I don't think it's that much worse than Angles or First Impressions of Earth. I think it's maybe overhated, in my opinion. So let me know your opinion on my ranking, and also what your ranking would be. The next Strokes one will be the New Abnormal, which is their most recent album. So Strokes' discography is actually pretty small. But I look forward to doing the new abnormal. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you soon, and take care. Goodbye.